Good choice clicking on this video. You're about to find out exactly why you must jailbreak your iPad. 5 reasons. I'm going to talk about why this thing is way more useful once you've jailbroken it. Now, not every iPad, unfortunately, can be jailbroken, so you have to make sure that your iPad is one of these ones here, and I'll go over how to jailbreak it later in the video. The jailbreak that's available for these iPads is what we call tethered hardware exploit jailbreak. So what tethered means is if you ever let your iPad completely power down, then you'll have to re-jailbreak it every time it completely powers off. But the battery life on these things is so good, mine never powers down, and it being tethered doesn't really bother me. The other part, the hardware exploit part, is really good news, because what that means is Apple can't get rid of this jailbreak. All of these models that I just showed you will always be jailbreakable because the exploit with the system is with the chip inside, is with the hardware. So no amount of software that Apple publish will ever change that. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about how you do the jailbreak. But for now, let's get into the 5 reasons you must jailbreak your iPad. Starting with reason 1. And this is probably the reason most people are going to care about. I can completely get rid of ads in YouTube and in Chrome. So for example, let me just open up a couple of YouTube videos. No ad, no ad, no ad. So I'm able to achieve this ad block by downloading a plugin called Circube, which for YouTube blocks all ads, and downloading a couple of other jailbroken plugins from Cydia, which are here, and the repos are here, which then block all ads in Chrome. This makes using the iPad so much better. It's like having ad block in Chrome, but on the iPad, no ads on YouTube videos, no ads in Chrome's. Brilliant. Reason number 1. Now, let's go on to reason number 2. And for reason number 2, I'm also going to go back to the YouTube app in my iPad, and natively in the iPad, you can't picture-in-picture and you can't background play on YouTube app without paying more money. So if I turn the volume up on my video that I've got playing here, if I close the app, I'm here talking about it because it comes with 4 GameCube controller ports. It's still playing. To play GameCube games. It's still playing. All games run flawlessly. Now the GameCube. And if I go back to it, it was still playing in the background. Now this is great. If I just pause myself there. This is great when you're listening to podcasts and just want to play something in the background. Natively, it won't do this, so you need a jailbroken iPad to do this in the YouTube app. And also, the other great thing about this app is I can picture-in-picture natively. So if I select picture-in-picture here, it does take a couple of seconds. It's not instant, but it's better than nothing. So once this is loaded, I have my picture-in-picture up here. The video is playing. I can go back to the main home screen, and I still have the picture-in-picture here. I can make it bigger. I can move it around. I can open other apps, move it around. So this is so good because I always have a YouTube video playing in the background when I'm using the iPad. And when I first got the iPad and it didn't have picture-in-picture for YouTube and it didn't have background playback in YouTube, it was so annoying. I had to have dual things up all the time, take up half the screen with the YouTube app. Just wasn't usable for me. So again, reason number 2 to jailbreak your iPad is picture-in-picture and background play on YouTube. Reason number 3 for jailbreaking your iPad is to give you access to all the system tweaks and all the system level settings that Apple try and lock away from the end user and don't let people actually change with their iPad. For example, Lynx offers comprehensive system customizability in one app. Within this app, you can use dark mode on a per app basis. You can double tap the home screen to lock the device. You can hide your app library. Honestly, the number of tweakable settings in this app are crazy. And these are things we should have access to on a device we own, but Apple locks them away and stops us from changing them. So if you want to really be able to control your iPad, then get Lynx. As well as an app as comprehensive as Lynx, there are also a lot of really small system level tweaks that you can get in apps. So for example, one of the ones I really like speeds up the animations. So if I open up settings, there is no animation to opening it. If I close it, no animation. If I open up BBC News, again, it's just there and it makes the iPad feel really snappy. If you download a tweak called Snowboard, that allows you to customize your icons in the iPad, which is really good if you like to be able to tweak what your iPad looks like and customize it. And there's also really straightforward tweaks, like being able to just close all of your open apps at once. So I can hit the clear button and all of my apps close. Why are Apple stopping us from having the ability to do things like this? Why must I close every app one at a time? Well, if you jailbreak your iPad, you don't have to do it as Apple tell you to do. Reason number 4 that you must jailbreak your iPad is not to be at the mercy of Apple and the apps they decide to let in their app store. What I'm talking about is things like emulators. So because I have a jailbroken iPad, I can run emulators on my iPad. Now, that's not something Apple likes you doing with their hardware. They don't allow you to download emulators, regardless of the legality and whether you own the games. It's just not an option. This is reason number 4 to jailbreak your iPad, is to be able to install things that you want to install and not just the things that Apple tell you you can install. Reason number 5, you must jailbreak your iPad. And to me, the most important reason of all 5 is to tell Apple that you're not going to wait for them to release the features you want. You're not going to listen to them when they tell you you can only install the apps they tell you you can install on hardware you've bought. To finally free your device from the shackles of that multinational corporation, because yes, they do make really good hardware, but I hate the fact that in software Apple think they can lock everything down and tell you what you can do with your device. You can't install emulators, you can't install tweaks, you can't close all apps at once, you can't theme it. And so if this jailbreak community dies, if no one jailbreaks it, then eventually the developers will go away and there won't be these exploits. So in order to keep it alive, you must jailbreak your iPad and give one of these to Apple. I bet what you're wondering now is, how do I jailbreak my iPad? Is it really difficult? Does it create a risk of breaking the device, etc., etc.? And the good news is, it's really straightforward to do it if you have an Apple laptop or something running Mac OS. If you have a Windows PC only, it's a bit more tricky. So I'll leave a link on how to do it with a Windows PC down below. But with a Mac device, all you have to do is plug your iPad into your MacBook, download and run the CheckRain app, and follow the on-screen instructions. It takes about 3 minutes to run through its steps, and when it finishes, you'll have a jailbroken iPad. Remember, this is tethered, so you'll have to do this every time you allow your iPad to fully die and switch off. So my advice is, don't let it get to 1% battery, always keep it with a bit of charge. And so what happens if you allow your iPad to power down and you want to switch it on but you can't jailbreak it? Well, that's absolutely fine. It'll just power up in non-jailbroken mode. So you won't have access to any of your jailbreak tweaks, but you still have access to everything else. You'll still be able to use the iPad completely normally, so don't worry about that. If you like the video, hit the like button because it really helps me to be seen by more people and this video to get picked up by the algorithm. And if you really like the video, why not subscribe? And I'll see you guys in the next one. The reason most people are so show the system-wide customizability.